There are moments in life when time splits into before and after, when everything you thought you knew about the world shifts beneath your feet like sand. For Maya Chen, that moment came on a gray Thursday morning when her phone rang at 6:47 a.m. No one calls with good news at 6:47 a.m. Maya was 28 years old, living in a cramped Chicago apartment, working 60-hour weeks at an advertising firm she didn't care about, trying to pay off student loans that felt like they'd follow her to the grave. She hadn't been home to Millbrook in 3 years, hadn't called her grandmother in 2 months. The phone vibrated against her nightstand. Unknown number. She almost didn't answer. Hello? Is this Maya Chen? A woman's voice. Professional, careful. Yes? This is Margaret Reeves from Millbrook General Hospital. I'm calling about your grandmother, Eleanor Chen. Maya's heart stopped. We've been trying to reach your mother, but my mother's dead, Maya said flatly. She died when I was 8. What happened to my grandmother? A pause. I'm very sorry. Your grandmother was brought in last night. She's had a severe stroke. The next 24 hours are critical. I think you should come home. Maya was on a plane 4 hours later. Millbrook looked exactly the same small downtown with its brick storefronts and American flags, the same diner where Grandma Eleanor used to buy her chocolate milkshakes, the same library where they'd spent countless summer afternoons, the same house on Maple Street with its blue shutters and the porch where they used to shell peas together. But everything felt different now, smaller, worn, as if the town had shrunk in her absence, or maybe she'd just outgrown it. Maya went straight to the hospital, room 304. She stood outside the door for a full minute, unable to make herself go in. She wasn't ready to see her grandmother like this, wasn't ready to face what she'd been avoiding for 3 years. Finally, she pushed the door open. The woman in the hospital bed looked nothing like the grandmother Maya remembered. Eleanor Chen had always been formidable, straight-backed, sharp-eyed, with silver hair she wore in a perfect bun, and hands that were never still. She gardened and cooked and sewed and built things. She fixed the leaky sink herself. She could name every constellation in the night sky. This woman looked small, fragile, ancient. Tubes and wires everywhere, the steady beep of monitors, the hiss of oxygen. Maya sank into the chair beside the bed and took her grandmother's hand. It felt like paper, thin and delicate. "I'm sorry," Maya whispered. "I'm so sorry I didn't come sooner." Her grandmother's eyes fluttered open, cloudy, confused. Then they focused on Maya's face. "Maya." Her voice was barely audible, slurred from the stroke. "My girl." "I'm here, Grandma. I'm here. Thought you wouldn't see you again." The words hit Maya like a fist to the chest. "Don't say that. You're going to be fine. You're the strongest person I know." Eleanor's lips tried to curve into a smile. "Liar. Always were. Terrible liar." A tear slid down Maya's cheek. "Grandma." "Listen." Eleanor's grip tightened, surprisingly strong. "Attic. Box. Letters. For you. Always, always for you." "What letters?" But Eleanor's eyes were closing again. "Promise me. Promise you'll read them." I promise, Grandma. Love you so much. Tell you everything. In the letters. I love you too." Eleanor smiled then, peaceful, and slipped back into sleep. Eleanor died 3 days later. On a Sunday morning when the sun was shining and the church bells were ringing, Maya was holding her hand. The last thing Eleanor said was, "Your mother would be so proud." Then she was gone. After the funeral, after the casseroles from neighbors Maya barely remembered, after the lawyer read the will and Maya discovered her grandmother had left her everything, the house, the savings, all of it, Maya finally climbed the stairs to the attic. The box was exactly where her grandmother said it would be, an old shoebox, the kind that had once held Eleanor's Sunday shoes, now filled with envelopes. Dozens of them, maybe 100, each one addressed to Maya in her grandmother's perfect handwriting. Maya sat on the dusty attic floor and opened the first one. It was dated 20 years ago, a week after Maya's mother died. My dearest Maya, you're 8 years old today, and you're sleeping downstairs in the room that used to be your mother's. You cried yourself to sleep again. It's been a week since the accident, and I don't think you've stopped crying except when you force yourself to smile for me. You asked me today if your mommy was coming back. You asked me if you did something wrong, if that's why she left. Oh, my sweet girl, my heart is breaking for you. I told you that your mother loved you more than anything in the world, that the drunk driver who hit her car didn't give her a choice about leaving, that none of this is your fault. You nodded, but I could see you didn't believe me. So I'm writing this letter, and I'm going to write you many more, because someday, when you're older, when you can understand, I want you to know everything. I want you to know about your mother, about me, about this family that made you. I want you to know you come from a long line of women who survived impossible things. I want you to know that you're not alone. Your mother, Lily, was my miracle. I was 42 years old when I had her, after 15 years of trying, after 7 miscarriages, after I'd given up hope. The doctors said it was impossible, but there she was, my beautiful, impossible daughter. And then she gave me you. When Lily died, I wanted to die too, but I couldn't because you needed me, because someone had to teach you how to be strong, how to survive, how to find joy even when the world is cruel. I promise you, Maya, I will be here. I will love you enough for both of us. And someday when you read this, you'll understand that love doesn't end, not ever. With all my heart, Grandma Eleanor. Maya's hands shook as she read. Tears blurred the words. She reached for the second letter. Maya stayed in that attic for hours, reading letter after letter. Each one revealed another piece of her grandmother, another truth she'd never known. A letter from when Maya was 10, after she'd gotten in a fight at school defending another girl from bullies. You came home with a black eye today and told me the other girl was worth it. I wanted to scold you for fighting, but I was too proud. You have your mother's fierce heart. She was always defending someone too. I held you while you cried and told you it was okay, but I cried too, later, alone in my room, because Lily should have been there for this, because I'm your grandmother, not your mother, and I'm so afraid I'm not enough. But then you came to my room and hugged me and said, "Thank you for taking care of me, Grandma. I know you miss her too." That's when I knew you'd be all right, that we'd be all right. A letter from when Maya was 16 and had her first heartbreak. You told me you'll never love anyone again, that it hurts too much, that everyone leaves eventually. Oh, sweetheart, I understand that fear. Your grandfather died when your mother was 5. I raised her alone, and when she died, when I lost my only child, I thought the same thing. But then I looked at you, and I realized something. Love is worth the pain, always, because the alternative is emptiness, and that's so much worse. Love hard, Maya. Love recklessly. Yes, it will hurt. Yes, people will leave, but the love itself, that's what makes us human. Letter after letter, year after year, Eleanor had documented everything. Every milestone Maya had hit, every disappointment, every triumph, every moment her grandmother had wanted to share but couldn't because Maya was too young to understand. There was a letter about Eleanor's own childhood in China, fleeing to America during the war, about meeting Maya's grandfather, an Irish immigrant who worked at the same factory, about the racism they faced, how they were each other's only safe harbor. There was a letter about Lily's childhood, how she'd been bullied for being mixed race, how Eleanor had taught her to stand tall and proud. There was a letter about the day Lily brought home Maya's father, a man Eleanor had never trusted, who left before Maya was even born. There were letters about Eleanor's loneliness after Lily died, about the nights she'd cried into her pillow, about the mornings she'd forced herself out of bed because 8-year-old Maya needed breakfast. And then there were letters about the distance that had grown between them. A letter from 5 years ago when Maya was 23 and had just graduated college. "You're moving to Chicago tomorrow. You're so excited. You talked all through dinner about your new job, your new apartment, your new life. I'm happy for you, I am, but I'm terrified too. I see the way you look at this town now, like it's too small for you, like staying here would be settling. I see the way you rush through our phone calls, always busy, always somewhere else to be. I'm losing you, and I don't know how to stop it. But maybe I'm not supposed to stop it. Maybe this is what I raised you for, to fly away, to build a life bigger than this little town, to be more than I ever was. It just hurts more than I expected." A letter from 3 years ago, after Maya had missed Christmas. "You called to say you couldn't make it home. Too much work. I said I understood. I lied. I spent Christmas alone. I cooked all your favorite foods anyway. Your chair at the table was empty. I'm not writing this to make you feel guilty. You're building your life. You should. But I want you to know, when you're my age, when you look back, you'll realize that the work didn't matter. The promotions didn't matter. The extra hours didn't matter. What mattered was love, was time, was being there. I hope you learned that lesson younger than I did." A letter from 2 years ago. "I had a health scare this week. Nothing serious, the doctor says, but it made me think about time, about how much I have left. I wanted to call you. I picked up the phone 3 times, but I didn't want to worry you, didn't want to be a burden. You have your own life now. When did I become afraid to need my own granddaughter?" A letter from 1 year ago. "I saw you on Facebook today. You looked so beautiful, so sophisticated in your business suit. You were at some gala, surrounded by important-looking people. I barely recognized you. When did you stop being my Maya? When did you become this stranger? Or maybe you didn't change. Maybe I'm just finally seeing what I always knew, that you were too big for this little life I gave you. I'm proud of you. I need you to know that, even if I don't know how to talk to you anymore, even if we've become polite strangers on the phone. I'm so, so proud." Maya sobbed reading these, great heaving sobs that shook her entire body, because she'd known, deep down, she'd known she was pulling away. She'd felt the distance growing. She'd just been too busy, too focused on her career, too caught up in her own life to care. And now her grandmother was gone. The second to last letter was dated 6 months ago. "Dear Maya, I've been having some health problems, dizzy spells, confusion. The doctor says I should probably be considering assisted living, but I'm not ready to leave this house. Not yet. This is the house where I raised your mother, where I raised you. Every room has memories. I can't leave them behind. I should tell you about this. I should call, but I'm afraid you'll just feel obligated to come home, to take care of me, to give up your life. I don't want to be your obligation, Maya. I want to be your choice. So I'm not going to call. I'm going to hope that one day you'll come home on your own, that you'll walk through that door and tell me you missed me. Is that foolish? Probably, but I'm an old woman and I'm allowed to be foolish. I love you. Even if you never come home, even if you forget me entirely, I will always, always love you. Grandma Eleanor." The final letter was dated 1 week ago. The handwriting was shaky, barely legible. "My dearest Maya, if you're reading this, I'm gone. I'm sorry I couldn't wait for you. I tried. I had a stroke 3 days ago. I'm in the hospital now, and the doctors say it's bad. I might not wake up again. I'm not afraid of dying, sweetheart. I've lived a long life. I've loved deeply. I've survived things that should have broken me. I'm ready, but I'm heartbroken that I won't see you again, that the last time we spoke was 2 months ago, a 5-minute phone call where you sounded distracted, that the last time you were home was 3 years ago. I'm heartbroken that I never told you all the things in these letters, that I waited too long. But maybe that's my fault. Maybe I should have demanded more from you. Maybe I should have told you I needed you instead of always saying I was fine. We're both guilty, I think. You of leaving, me of letting you go too easily. But here's what I need you to know, what I need you to carry with you. You are loved, completely, unconditionally, forever. Your mother loved you with every fiber of her being. I loved you with everything I had left, and that love doesn't disappear just because we're gone. You carry us with you, Maya, in your determination, in your strength, in that fierce heart that fights for what's right, in your laugh that sounds just like Lily's, in your hands that look like mine. We're not gone. We're part of you. Don't waste your life on things that don't matter. Don't wait to tell people you love them. Don't let fear keep you from coming home, wherever home is for you. Live, Maya. Live big and bold and recklessly. Make mistakes. Take chances. Love hard. Come home when you need to. Leave when you must. But don't forget where you came from. Don't forget who you are. I'm so proud of you. I'm sorry I didn't say it enough. I'm sorry I wasn't stronger, wasn't braver, wasn't better. But I loved you. God, how I loved you. Thank you for being my reason to keep going after Lily died. Thank you for giving me 8 more years of motherhood. Thank you for every moment, even the ones where we were distant, because having you in the world, even far away, was better than not having you at all. Be happy, my darling girl. Be brave. Be you. With all my love, now and always, Grandma Eleanor. Maya sat in that attic until the sun set, until the house was dark around her, until her tears ran dry and all that was left was a hollow ache in her chest. She thought about her life in Chicago, the apartment she barely lived in because she was always at the office, the friends she'd lost touch with, the relationships she'd sabotaged because she was too busy climbing the corporate ladder, the weekends spent working instead of living. She thought about her grandmother, alone in this house for 3 years, waiting for a phone call that never came, waiting for a visit, waiting for her granddaughter to remember that career success meant nothing if you had no one to share it with. She thought about her mother, who died too young, who never got the chance to watch Maya grow up, who would have given anything for more time. And here Maya was, wasting the time she had. She stood up, her legs stiff from sitting so long. She walked to the small attic window and looked out at Millbrook, at the town her grandmother had loved, at the neighbors who'd brought casseroles, at the life her grandmother had built here. It wasn't too small. Maya had just been looking at it wrong. The next morning, Maya called her boss in Chicago. "I'm not coming back," she said. "What? Maya, you can't just—" "I quit. I'm sorry. I'll send my formal resignation by email." She hung up before he could respond. Then she walked through her grandmother's house, her house now, really looking at it for the first time in years. The kitchen where Eleanor had taught her to make dumplings, the living room where they'd watched old movies together, the garden where they'd planted tomatoes every spring. The photos on the walls, Eleanor and Maya's grandfather on their wedding day, Lily as a baby, as a child, as a young mother holding infant Maya. Maya at every age, every milestone, every moment Eleanor had thought worth preserving. A whole life documented in pictures. In the study, Maya found her grandmother's journal. The last entry was dated a week before the stroke. "Maya hasn't called in 2 months. I tell myself she's busy. that she still loves me, that one day she'll come home. I have to believe that. If I don't, what was it all for? Maya closed the journal and cried again. Then she made a decision. Maya spent the next 3 months sorting through her grandmother's belongings. She couldn't bring herself to throw much away. Every item had a story. Every object was a memory. She found her mother's baby clothes, carefully preserved, her grandmother's wedding dress, old photographs from China, sepia-toned images of ancestors Maya had never met. She found Eleanor's recipe cards, each one annotated with notes. Maya's favorite: add extra ginger. Make this when you need comfort. She found a box of Maya's childhood drawings that Eleanor had kept, every single one. Stick figures and crooked houses and misspelled words, all precious enough to save. And slowly, Maya began to understand. This was love. Not the grand gestures, not the expensive gifts, but this, the keeping, the preserving, the believing that every moment mattered. Maya started making changes. She turned Eleanor's sewing room into a home office. She could work remotely, she realized, could build a life here. She joined the community garden, met the neighbors Eleanor had loved, started volunteering at the library where she and her grandmother had spent so many afternoons. She learned to make Eleanor's recipes, the dumplings that took hours to fold just right, the soup that cured any sadness, the cookies that appeared whenever Maya needed comfort. She tended the garden, planting the same tomatoes, the same flowers, her hands in the same soil her grandmother's hands had touched. And slowly, painfully, Maya started to heal. 6 months after Eleanor's death, Maya was at the library when she noticed a young girl, maybe 9 years old, sitting alone in the children's section, crying quietly. Maya hesitated. Then she thought about what Eleanor would do. She sat down next to the girl. "Hey, you okay?" The girl looked up, wiping her eyes. "I'm fine." "You don't look fine." The girl's lip trembled. "My mom died 3 months ago, and everyone keeps telling me it gets better, but it doesn't. It just hurts all the time." Maya's heart broke. "What's your name?" "Sophie." "Hi, Sophie. I'm Maya. And you're right, it doesn't get better. Not exactly." Sophie looked surprised. Adults usually lied to her about this. "It gets different," Maya continued. "The pain doesn't go away, but you learn to carry it. You learn to live around it. You learn that you can miss someone and still be happy, still laugh, still live." "How long does that take?" Maya thought about the letters, about her grandmother, about all the years of grief Eleanor had carried. "I don't know. Maybe forever. Maybe it's different for everyone." "That's not very helpful," Sophie said, but she smiled a little. "I know, but here's what is helpful. You're not alone, even when it feels like you are, even when everyone else moves on and you're still stuck in that moment. You're not alone." "My dad tries, but he doesn't understand." "No, he can't, not really, because it's your pain, your loss, but that doesn't mean you're alone in it." Maya made a decision. "Do you like dumplings?" Sophie blinked. "What?" "Dumplings, the food. Do you like them?" I guess so." "Come to my house tomorrow. I'll teach you how to make them, and we can talk or not talk, whatever you need." "Why would you do that? You don't even know me." "Because someone did it for me once, and because I think we need each other." Sophie came the next day, and the day after that, and soon it became a weekly thing. Sophie and Maya, making dumplings, talking about grief and mothers, and how to survive when the world feels impossible. Sophie's father, Daniel, was a single dad trying his best. He was grateful for Maya's help, for the way his daughter smiled again after visiting Maya's house. "She talks about you all the time," Daniel told Maya one day when he came to pick Sophie up. "You've helped her more than all the grief counselors combined." "She's helped me too," Maya said, and it was true. Other kids started coming too. Word spread that there was a woman on Maple Street who understood. who didn't try to fix things, who just listened, who made soup and cookies and created a safe space for grief. Maya turned her grandmother's living room into a gathering place. Once a week, she hosted a group for kids who'd lost parents. Sometimes they talked, sometimes they just sat together. Sometimes they cooked or gardened or made things with their hands. Always, Maya told them, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to laugh too. Your person wouldn't want you to stop living. They'd want you to live enough for both of you. A year after Eleanor's death, Maya planted a memorial garden in the backyard. She invited everyone Eleanor had touched, neighbors, friends, the kids from her grief group. They each planted something, a flower, an herb, a vegetable, something living, something that would grow. Sophie planted forget-me-nots, so we don't forget, she said. We could never forget, Maya promised. But even if our memories fade, even if the pain lessens, the love stays. Love is what grows in the spaces grief leaves behind. That night, Maya sat on the porch, Eleanor's porch, and looked at the garden, at the life springing from soil, at the beauty growing from loss. She thought about the letters, about her grandmother's words, about the love that had been there all along, even when Maya was too blind to see it. She thought about her mother, gone too soon, about Eleanor, who'd loved her enough for 2 parents, about the chain of women who'd survived impossible things. And she thought about Sophie, about all the kids who came to her house seeking comfort, about how grief had somehow become connection, how loss had become purpose. I understand now, Maya whispered to the night, to her grandmother, to anyone who might be listening. I understand what you were trying to tell me. Love doesn't end. It transforms. It passes down through generations. It grows in unexpected places. It becomes the reason we keep going, even when everything hurts. 5 years after Eleanor's death, Maya received a letter in the mail from Sophie, now 14, away at a summer writing camp. Dear Maya, I'm writing to you because you taught me something important. We should tell people we love them while we can. I love you. You saved my life. I don't mean that dramatically. I mean it literally. When my mom died, I wanted to die too. I didn't see the point of going on. But then you showed me that grief doesn't have to be the end of the story, that it can be the beginning of something new. You showed me that love doesn't die. It just changes shape. I'm writing these letters because of you. Letters to my future self. Letters to my mom, even though she's gone. Letters to the person I want to become. One day, when I'm older, I'll read them and remember. I'll remember this summer, this moment, this version of me that's learning to be happy again. I'll remember you. Thank you for teaching me how to survive, how to live, how to plant gardens in the ruins. Love, Sophie. Maya cried reading it, happy tears this time, healing tears. She went to her desk and pulled out paper, pen. She began to write. Dear Sophie, thank you for your letter. Thank you for trusting me with your grief. Thank you for letting me help you carry it. You want to know the truth? You saved my life too. When my grandmother died, I was drowning in regret, in all the time I'd wasted, in all the chances I'd missed to tell her I loved her. But you gave me a second chance. Every kid who walks through my door gives me a second chance, a chance to do it right this time, to be present, to choose love over work, connection over achievement, time over money. Keep writing those letters, Sophie. Keep documenting your life. Keep believing that your story matters, because it does. One day, someone will need to read your words. Someone will need to know that they can survive this, that grief doesn't have to break them, that love is stronger than loss. You'll be their Eleanor, their Maya, and the cycle will continue. Love passing down generation to generation, story to story, heart to heart. I'm so proud of you. Your mother would be so proud of you. With all my love, Maya. 20 years later, Maya Chen was 48 years old when she climbed into the attic with a shoebox. Inside were letters, dozens of them, letters she'd written over the years to a granddaughter that didn't exist yet, to children she might never have, to anyone who might need them someday. Letters about her mother, about Eleanor, about Sophie and all the other kids who taught her how to live again. Letters about love and loss and the messy, beautiful process of healing. She'd learned from Eleanor's mistake. She wasn't waiting until she was gone to share her story. These letters would be read, shared, passed down. But just in case, just to be safe, she put them in a box, labeled it clearly, left instructions. Because love deserved to be preserved, documented, remembered. Because stories mattered. Because someone, someday, might need to know that they could survive the impossible. Maya looked out the attic window at her garden, grown wild and beautiful, at the house full of laughter and kids and life, at the town that was no longer too small, but exactly the right size. She thought about Eleanor, about that final letter, about the words that had changed everything. Live, Maya. Live big and bold and recklessly. Don't forget who you are. I didn't forget, Grandma. I finally remembered. And somewhere, somehow, she could swear she heard Eleanor's voice on the wind. That's my girl. That's my brave, beautiful girl. Maya smiled, closed the box, and went downstairs. There was soup to make, kids to feed, stories to tell, life to live. Enough for both of them. Enough for all of them. But not really, because love stories never truly end. They just transform, passing from heart to heart, generation to generation, forever and always.